Have you ever been in a room full of people, talking, laughing, and sharing stories, and suddenly realized that nobody is actually looking at you? You try to share a thought, but your voice sort of trails off because someone else starts speaking over you. It is a quiet, heavy feeling. It makes you go home, lie in bed, and wonder, am I just boring? Is there a secret to getting people to listen that everyone else figured out except me? Most of us think that being interesting is something you were born with. We look at those naturally magnetic people who can charm an entire room with a simple joke, and we assume they have a special gene. But psychology shows us something completely different. The science of becoming more interesting isn't about changing your DNA, and it definitely isn't about forcing yourself to become a loud, fake version of yourself. In fact, the harder you try to look interesting, the more uninteresting you actually become. There is a fascinating study in behavioral psychology called the pratfall effect. Scientists found that when a highly competent, seemingly perfect person makes a small, clumsy mistake, like spilling a bit of coffee on themselves, people actually like them much more. Why? Because perfection is boring. It feels mechanical and distant. When you spend all your energy trying to hide your flaws, filter your thoughts, and say the exact right thing, you don't look smart. You just look blank. You become predictable. This brings us to the real reason we struggle to connect. It usually comes down to overthinking. When you are trapped in your own head, constantly wondering how you are coming across, you aren't actually present in the conversation. You are playing a character of yourself. Your brain is so busy looking for external validation that your natural warmth gets completely locked away. Social anxiety tells us that if we stay quiet and safe, we won't get rejected. But the truth is, when you share nothing of yourself, people have nothing to hold on to. Think about the most interesting person you know. It isn't usually the person who has traveled to 50 countries or climbed mountains. It is the person who pays close attention to the world around them. Attention is a rare currency today. In a world where everyone is staring down at a screen, searching for a quick hit of dopamine, giving someone your full, undivided focus is almost a superpower. The science of becoming more interesting shows that magnetic people don't actually talk about themselves all the time. Instead, they make the other person feel fascinating. They don't just ask standard questions like, "What do you do?" They ask things that make you stop and think, like, "How did you end up doing that?" Or, "What's the best part of your week so far?" When you shift your focus away from your own self-worth and direct your genuine curiosity toward others, a strange shift happens. The pressure vanishes. Your communication becomes natural, and suddenly, people are drawn to you because of how they feel when they are around you. But what happens when it is your turn to speak? How do you share your life without feeling like you are bragging or putting people to sleep? The secret is simple. Share your perspective, not just your resume. If someone asks about your weekend, the boring answer is, "I just stayed home and watched a movie." But the interesting answer adds a tiny window into your human experience. I watched this old documentary about deep-sea diving, and it made me realize how terrifyingly huge the ocean is. It literally kept me awake for an hour just thinking about it. Notice the difference? The first answer is just a fact. The second answer is a feeling, an opinion, a glimpse into how your mind works. That is what people connect with. You don't need an extraordinary life to be interesting. You just need an active, curious mind that notices the ordinary details of life. If you want to practice the science of becoming more interesting starting today, there is one small habit you can try. Next time you are talking to someone, Notice when you feel the urge to wait for your turn to speak. Catch that moment. Instead of planning your next sentence while they are still talking, listen so closely that you can repeat their last 3 words in your mind. Then, ask a question based exactly on what they just said. When you do this, the invisible wall of social awkwardness drops. You stop worrying about being judged, and you start building a bridge. You realize that you don't have to carry the burden of entertaining everyone. You just have to be willing to see them. True confidence isn't walking into a room and thinking you are better than everyone else. It is walking into a room and not having to compare yourself to anyone at all. You are allowed to be quiet. You are allowed to have a calm life. Your value doesn't come from a collection of wild stories. It comes from your willingness to be real, to listen, and to share your honest view of the world. Take a deep breath. You don't need to perform anymore. Just look around, stay curious, and notice the world. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Keep growing, keep listening, and keep choosing to shine more. I will see you in the next one.